the exhibition is really not focused on bananas. The idea is to merge together the design, sculpture and architectural approach in order to build up some kind of shapes which could really deal with the fruits. Generally speaking, when we put the fruit on the table, we put everything on a tray or on a basket into a container. And we don't take care about the quality of the fruits. If they are, from a geometrical point of view, if they are spherical or if they have other shapes like raisins or bananas, we put everything together. My reflection is on the idea of taking care of the objects. In the same way we think to take care about the environment at home and we take care about the object, we have to take care also of the fruits. That means that if we install new geometries which allow the fruit to feel comfortable, we really recreate the relationship between us and the fruit. The fruit could stay on the top of the object, or they could also stay out of the object, enjoying the shadow, for instance. And the idea of the shadows of the object for me is very important, because if an object has a great shadow, that means that it builds up the relationship and the distances between itself and the other objects, so that we could create a landscape. And our job as designer is to try to create a landscape in which the objects, the tables on the top of them, the objects are living, and also fruits are all speaking together. This is the reason why I try to make very simple this concept, putting fruits on the top of my objects and also into the shadows. Just to say that we have to take care about the position of the objects and have this competence also in build up personal landscapes on the table. I think that we have, as a designer, we have to improve the consciousness of people. You know that today we buy objects and perhaps we don't choose them. We buy objects and then we don't know where to put at home. My real dream is that someone could buy an object first and then choose the table if this object has to be put on the table, and then the chair if he needs chair, and then the whole environment and the house. While generally speaking, people do the reverse idea, build up houses with their character, with their colors, with their environmental qualities, and then put objects into houses. If we are able to reverse this practice and we start from the objects, this is very interesting, because from the objects to environment, each step is a step of more consciousness. We could really be very delicate and sophisticated in selecting the objects, and every object has a reason why we buy, which sometimes is a functional reason, why not, and sometimes is a ritual reason, or an aesthetical reason, or a religious reason. And we have to develop this consciousness in looking at the object with different eyes, not just functionals or I like it or I don't like. Objects and persons are really dealing together, and we create new geometries, new instability, for instance. I'm very concerned with the idea of instability, because we are used to live in very stable environment with all the 90 degrees angles, for instance, because we want to feel ourselves safe when we are at home. While if we live in a sort of instability, with fruits trying to escaping from the trays, for instance, this creates a good feeling, because we know that every time we leave, something could happen, something extraordinary, something unpredictable. And to put extraordinarity or unpredictability on the object is one of my biggest challenge in this moment. I think I was very influenced by the presence of the wind which is a very strong element of building up the day. For instance, if the wind comes from north or from south, in the summertime I have to choose where to go to take a bath, to go to the sea, you know. And so the idea of waking up and looking to the windows and knowing the speed of the clouds, for instance, or see the sun for 24 hours. This is so important in terms of feeling, of personal feeling, that it could be important for changing the day. This is something that I really appreciate very much when I was living in Sicily, and I try to reproduce in terms of unpredictability in my design. This is the strongest impact of the idea of living for years in a place in which landscapes, sea, the mountains, the winds are so strong. The future of design is extremely challenging because even though there are a lot of designers and a lot of objects and a lot of practice, we have more space to enter in the soul of the objects. And the first experience that I try to transmit to the students at the school is not the relationship between the designer as a creator and the object, but the relationship between the objects. And we don't know really anything about how the object could speak each other at night when we switch off the light and we go to sleep.